Good afternoon, Patel sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
I hope I'm audible to you.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Nice to meet you, sir.
yeah. First time meeting.
Sir, can you wait for 3-4 minutes?
Yeah, no problem, sir.
Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
yes.
Sir, I was just referring to your resume. It's a very long journey of both professional experience as well as academic part. Really,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
it's our pleasure. It's our pleasure that you are in between us, and today we have a privilege to listen you, sir.
Yeah, sir. So, what is the present status, sir? College is going on online or offline?
Sir, please can you repeat, sir? Sorry, I could not hear you.
Now, college classes is going on online or offline?
No, it's online, sir. It's online, sir. Online.
Online only.
Actually, for PG, government has given us the option that if we want, we can go for offline.
Okay, sir.
But presently, the situation in Ahmedabad is not so much comfortable. So, online is the more better option.
Correct, correct, correct.
Actually. And presently, our offline exams were also going on since last 1 month. But
Okay,
presently,
okay.
they also have been postponed, sir,
Acha,
for up to 10th April.
10th April.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Just 2 days back only, they have announced this. They made this announcement of
Okay, okay.
postponing the offline exams.
Okay. Even IIT RAM also stopped offline classes also.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. They have sent back the students and they have started online
Okay.
classes.
So actually, that was the problem here also, sir. That uh, as the COVID cases were rising in Ahmedabad
Yes.
city, so if the situation becomes out of control, then students are also helpless at that time.
Yeah. Correct. Sir. Correct. Correct.
That's the reason, sir. So, good afternoon to all the dear participants. Heading towards our fourth session of the day. Today, with all of us, we have Dr. B.S. Patil, that is Pawan Shamarao Patil. He is such an eminent personality with a 31 years of a long professional experience, including an academic journey also. To his credentials, I have its CV, which is of 14 pages. So if I try to read all its, because it is full of the achievements and many other things, and he has shared his experiences also. So just I am briefing some of them. Patil sir, just forgive me if I left something.
It's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So sir did his PhD from IIT Bombay, his master's from Walchand College of Engineering, Sangli, India, 1999. He's been associated with IIT Bombay since last 20 years and 11 years with various other organizations, including corporate industries. He is working in the field of solid waste management, natural resources management, wastewater management, environmental impact assessment, environmental risk analysis, project management, facility management, and other things. Sir has also visited many foreign countries, including USA and others, for his research work as well as for paper presentation works. Sir has also got a US patent in his name for development of sustainable engineered bioreactor rainfill. That is the development and advanced instrumentation part. Other achievements, sir is also a recipient of many awards. More than 20 awards sir has received. Sir was also, before I think, before that, sir was also associated with Akruti City, where he was working as a general manager. He was also the head of the environmental department of the Sahyadri Cooperative Sugar Industry, that is in Satara, India. Then sir was also associated with as a project engineer with Environmental Protection Research Foundation, Sangli. And sir, as I told you, I really feel that it's even half an hour is too small to read out the achievements and many things of respected Patil. So without much wasting time, I request Patil sir to have the sessions.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. You can see the PPTs. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you can share your screens.
Yep. Yeah. It's okay. Hello. Hello, sir.
Hello.
That.
Sir, your voice is coming.
You have seen my PPTs on the screen. I have shared my screen.
No, sir. Still, it's not visible, sir.
Not visible.
Shalini, madam?
Yes, sir.
It's okay, sir.
No, sir. Still, your PPTs are not visible, sir.
because already I have connected.
Sir, on the right hand side topmost corner, one share content tab is there.
1 minute, madam. Topmost, yeah.
Sir, right side corner.
Yeah, share.
Share. Yes, sir. From that you can easily share your slides.
Sir, on the right hand side on the top,
Yes,
there
yes,
is
yes.
a white arrow.
Yeah, new tab, Windows, Zoom, history.
Huh? So first, you can have to share your screen, sir.
One minute, yes, sir.
No issue, no issue.
One minute.
माउस सेलेक्ट कर सकते
हाँ?
हैं स्क्रीन पर आपसे डायरेक्ट हमारा आ रहा है नीचे बाहर ये हमारा नंबर
जानकार माउस
MS Teamમાં જ્ઞાન નહીં મળતું. તમારે બધા નહીં.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
can I see that?
Yes, sir. Now your screen is yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
sir.
sir.
Visible.
Now your screen
Yeah.
is visible.
Okay, sir. Hello.
Sir, yes, sir. Just you can convert into slideshow, sir.
Yeah, already that is started. Slideshow is it's visible.
हाँ sir, visible है.
Okay, can I start now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, all of you. First of all, thanks to Dr. Shah, sir, for giving me the opportunity to talk into your SCTP recent trends in the environmental geotech for the sustainable development program. So, friends, today I'm presenting on the integrated techniques for the sustainable municipal solid waste management. So, this is my introduction given by the Dr. Shah, sir. Thanks once again. Friends,
Thank you,
friends, everybody know that what are the different reason or for the generation of large, huge amount of the municipal solid waste. So first upon the population is the one of the biggest reason for the huge volume of the MSW. Along with the population, rapid urbanization is going on, already started or in many spaces completed. The rapid urbanization due to the lot of industries and industrializations, and all these are the industrialization, rapid urbanization, automatically replicate into the lifestyle of the people. Generally, if you see the particularly present trend of the living of the people, if you think that if you see that in the old age, generally we use the very limited resources, use of the paper, plastic, then our food, many things are there. So presently, everyone is switched towards the packed material, packing. Everything is coming into the packing. Result of it increase in the municipal solid waste. So what are the sources of the municipal solid waste? Everyone know that residential area is the biggest area for the municipal solid waste generation. Industries are the partially municipal solid waste, partially that other waste, also hazardous waste. Commercial places, educational institute, hospitals, markets, many places are there where municipal solid waste generation is taking place. If you see the municipal solid waste average all over in the India, the composition is different at the different places, because reason behind that already I told that living lifestyle. If you see the city area, that is the different. If you go into the rural area, that is the different. So average combinations, I will show you what is the component of the MSW. Friends, if you see that this is the average weight taken by the taken on based on the 3 years data. This is paper corrugated boxes, plastic, Tetra Paks, clothes, bottle, metals, food and garden waste, and packing materials.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. Sorry,
Yes, yes, sir.
Your slides are not moving.
Slides are? Pardon, sir?
Slides are not moving.
It's okay, sir.
Slides are.
Yes.
Only your
So
first
your
slide is
slides are not
means
changing.
it's visible.
The first slide, the introduction slide is only.
Still, we cannot see your second slide, third slide. It is only visible. So.
It's okay, sir.
Still, sir, it is not under slide social. So.
It's okay, sir.
Sir, kindly
Yes,
keep
yes.
your presentation on slideshow mode. It is not in the slideshow mode.
No, it's already on slideshow mode.
Sir, actually, we are not able to see the slideshow mode.
1 minute.
Sir, at the bottom of your presentation also there is a symbol of slideshow. That also you can click, sir.
Hello, sir. Okay.
Hello.
It's visible now, sir. It's
So
okay,
your
sir.
screen
Yes,
is
sir. Your
visible, but actually
generation.
it's not under slideshow mode. So is it possible to share it again? While doing so, you just share the screen, not the window. You are sharing the window.
Stop.
Mobile.
Another question, please.
Slideshow એનું હેંગ થઈ જતો હોય. Patel sir. Hello. Arti sir, you can email us your presentation so that we can share from here also.
क्या बोल रहे हो? नहीं अभी फ्री नहीं हूँ, बोलिए कुछ अर्जेंट है? हाँ 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 पता है। क्या बात करनी, कुछ अपडेट आया उससे रिलेटेड?
It's visible, sir.
Yes, sir. Your screen. Yes, yes. Perfect, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Slides are moved. Okay, sir. So already I have gone through these slides. These are the sources. Already we are discussing on to the composition of the mixed MSW. So
Yes.
already I told that paper and it's audible, sir.
Yes, clearly audible, sir.
Yeah. Paper, corrugated boxes, plastic, tetra bags, clothes, fabrics. All these are the different component of the MSW. And already I have given the percentage by weight of this. So major point into this composition is the food and green waste. The percentage is around 72.75%. But if you see the average all over, that comes under the 65 to 70% of the total waste. So this is the major problematic issue of the municipal solid waste. Because if you try to separate the waste, the major problem to keep longer time is the food waste, because that immediately starts stinking. So due to these many what are the geo-environmental issues? Because all these waste, composition waste is going onto the dump ground. So these are the issues, because when that is going into the dumping ground, this is uncontrolled dumping taking place everywhere in the majority cities. No scientific technologies implementation is taking place. Another one thing is the burning of the open burning of the MSW where they are dumping. If you see the buildings, nearby buildings, due to the these fumes, many people are suffering due to the many asthmatic problems. Parallelly, this is a place for the insect, growing the insect, mosquitoes nearby the cities also. Major problem is the surface and groundwater contamination due to the leachate of the MSW. These are the geo-environmental issues we are observing everywhere in all cities. So friends, what are the solutions to come over these issues? So solutions are the that start from the segregation of the municipal solid waste and the implementation of the 4R concepts. So initially you see what are the 4R concepts? 4R concept is nothing but the reduction into the municipal solid waste that start from our home. So stop using the packed material. Don't dispose of the papers instead of disposing into the garbage bins. Place it properly and sell it to the kabadiwala. These are the small things where we can reduce our municipal solid waste. Then recycling the plastic contents, the plastic bottles, containers, we can recycle it in our home for the multiple purpose. Parallelly, reuse of these materials. Suppose if corrugated boxes are there, so use for the other purpose also. So many different ways we can reuse this municipal solid waste which is generated in our home. And the next one is the revenue. Revenue generation is taking place when we'll sort your municipal solid waste in your home, metal separate, paper separate, plastic separate, glass separate, and sell it to the kabadiwala. You will get the very good amount. These are the revenue generation. These are the 4R where we can reduce the total quantity of the municipal solid waste. Once you reduce the quantity at the source, then automatically that give the results into the reduction into the transportation cost, treatment cost, and the final product which is coming out of it, that also. So after 4 hour effective segregation is also very important to reduce the all this cost which is coming in the process of the municipal solid waste treatment. Segregation, everybody knows that this is not a new things. Start segregate at the source only. That means from the home, you start at the home. That is everywhere that in the all municipal corporation is telling that keep 2 bins. One is the wet for the wet and another one is the dry. But I want to add few things into this one because still people that awareness is not there into our society, and even other things also coming that people's mindset is not there to segregate into the two compartment. Many things are there to segregate the wet our municipal solid waste at the source. So generally, if you see that even a lot of confusion also there when we are telling that wet waste and dry waste. So suppose someone is telling that food waste is coming under wet waste, then what about the garden leaves? Where that will go? Dry garden leaves. So we can say divide into the two categories. One is the compostable waste, another one is the non-compostable waste, or which is decomposed, which is not decomposed easily or fast. So if you divide it into the two category, and if you increase the awareness into the people, try to change their mentality towards the segregation, then that will help a lot. If you see here that wet waste, already I mentioned here food, vegetable waste, then dry waste is nothing but the paper, plastic, Tetra Paks, metals. Many things are coming into that. Everybody know which is coming into the decomposable waste and which is coming under the non-decomposable waste. So straight away divided into the two things, decomposable and non-decomposable. Because if you completed segregation activity at source effectively, minimum 50% volume reduction will take at the source only. Because if you taken out the valuable material out of it, and already I told, and sell it to the kabadi wala, two things will happen. Will generate the revenue, will reduce the reduction of the waste will take place at the source only. That will go up to the 50% as per my present work. So already I told that recyclable waste go for the recycling, that paper, plastic, Tetra Paks will go for the recycling for the different activities. Many people working on to the recycling activity. Tetra Pak recycling, they're converting into the benches. Metal is going for the recycling. Glasses, they are converting granules. Again, they're preparing the bottles. Plastic, that is using for the making the construction material, then partition boards, many things are doing people. There is a different another alternative is also available there, so many people can choose that also. The only one thing is that thin plastic which is coming into the contact with the waste food, that is recycling is the very problematic. Then because if you want to wash it again, that wastewater generation will take place. Thin plastic and contaminated plastic, these are the biggest issue. Another one is the multi-layer plastic. That is the biggest issue in our India in the municipal solid waste, because we can't treat that with a single technology. PVC waste, that is particularly agriculture activities, pipes are that is manufacturing into the PVC. So that waste also that should go for the recycle, but that is also very difficult task. Another one, clothes, diapers, sanitary napkins. These two things still people is not aware about that diaper and sanitary napkins. Everything is going into the municipal solid waste. Actually, separate system is required to treat this waste separately, and this will happen only into the segregation activity only. Another one thing is the batteries are there, foam and thermocol is there. This is also problematic things. Other than this, e-waste is there. E-waste generally that much awareness is not till date into the our society to separate these things: diapers, sanitary napkins, e-waste. That battery will go into the e-waste, but other things that our mobiles and many electrical things that should go to the e-waste, and separate treat collection system also required for this one. Generally, one last time when I visited one biomedical incineration plant, I have seen that only medical waste is coming over there. But I requested the municipal councils and municipal commissioners also, why we are not starting collection of the diapers and sanitary napkins along with the medical waste. If you have done this, then automatically if this waste goes to the biomedical waste incineration plant, the quantity is not a huge quantity, but this is the best solution, and this is the best alternative for the reduction into the volume of the municipal solid waste, which is going into the open dumps. So these are the activity implementation is required into the segregation activity of the municipal solid waste. To go to the deep level, much more awareness programs are required for this, and to try to change the attitude and mentality of the people also required to effective segregation of the MSW. This is talking about the at source. If you go for the centralized collection systems, before that I want to mention that which is dry fractions coming out of the MSW, that is maximum we are mentioning that refuse dry fuel, RDF. Generally RDF using for the waste energy plant, and we can convert that into the electricity also. But again, that many things are coming into that, which is the good RDF. Good RDF is the energy enriched, combustible, high calorific value, lower moisture content, lower ash content. But if you see our municipal solid waste, already I told that combustible and high calorific value and low moisture content. Actually, during rainy season, it's very problematic things related to moisture content, and automatically that affects on the calorific value also. So when we'll go to the thermal process, later we will discuss much more into the RDF also. These are the composition of the non-decomposable fraction and plastic wrappers. This is related to only RDF only. Which coming from the fresh waste, bioman waste, and hand-picked waste. Actually, if you want to treat our municipal solid waste effectively, integrated techniques are required here, because one technology is not sufficient to treat the complete municipal solid waste. Many places that mixed waste is coming to the treatment. Many places segregated waste is coming for the treatment. So when these two waste is coming there, so three major process are here. One is the mechanical process, another one is the biological process, third one is the thermal process. If waste is not segregated, the combined waste is coming along with the biomass, then mechanical, that should go first for the mechanical process. Mechanical process will separate into the different categories. If segregated waste is there, directly that will go. If waste is segregated into the combustible and non-combustible, or decomposable or non-decomposable, So decomposable part will go into the biological process, and non-decomposable component will go for the thermal process or thermal process, and remaining will go into the SEBLF, that is sustainable engineered bioreactor landfill. Because in the all technology, if you see that integrated technologies, every technology have a limitations. If you start with the mechanical process, if you see that when we are going for the mechanical process, completely completely mechanical process. So material is going into the unloading platform, then metallic separators are there, then that is going into the conveyor. Before that, many places shredding is taking place, then that is going into the conveyor. That by air blowing, they're separating the lighter material like the plastic, other things. Heavy material remains there. So then finally, if you see the mechanical process, complete mechanical process, that everything is mixing together. Means if you segregate it manually, that wet waste is going separately and dry fractions are going separately. But if you use the mechanical process, only the lighter material we can separate by the air blowing systems. But remaining things remain into the mixed treatment. So if you send it for the biological, that's create the problem. If you send it for the thermal treatment, that creates the problem. So if you send it for the bioreactor landfills, then the organic matter, the decomposable material will decompose, and remaining will remain as it is. So these are the limitations for the complete 100% mechanical process. So to overcome this mechanical process, if you try to make it partially mechanical, partially manual, that will give the better result. And this is I have tried into the IIT Bombay. What I have done, that when that mixed waste came to the process site, just unload that onto the conveyor belt. Once that unload onto the conveyor belt, only instead of mechanical activity, only manual picking up the valuable material, that helps a lot. If 2-3 people stand on both sides of the conveyor and they pick the valuable material and store into the containers, that is very, very effective than the completely mechanical process. Because I have seen that if you segregated effectively with the conveyor belt and the manually, up to 70% valuable material we can recover from the total waste, and only 30% waste will go ahead, that will go for the sustainable engineering bioreactor landfill, because wet waste is purely separating into the bimanually. So that goes towards the biological treatment, and the material which is taking out paper, plastic, corrugated boxes, metal, glasses, that is going 100%, that is going for the recycle and reuse. And another one thing, because if you dump anything at a single place, suppose mixed waste go, that vehicle goes and dumped onto the dumping ground or the bioreactor landfill. From the heap, it's very difficult to take out the valuable material, because of many rack pickers. If you go to the dumping grounds, you see the many rack pickers are there. So they are excavating that heaps. They are trying to take out the valuable material. 50% valuable material, which means the recyclable material, that is buried under all these unwanted materials. But manually segregation with the conveyor belts, that will give the very, very, very better results, means up to the 70% recovery of the valuable material from the municipal solid waste. So already I told that the decomposable material will go to the biological treatment. Biological treatment, many alternatives are there, because if you separated wet waste or decomposable waste or biological waste, biological waste, You can treat that by the composting or by the methanation plant. Two technologies are there. Crude and very good technologies are there. Only one thing is that again limitations are coming, whether that councils or municipal councils have enough land. Land limitations are there. If land composting required the big lands. If lands are there, then easily they can go for the composting. If lands limitations are there, then biomethanation plants are the good alternative, because that required comparatively very less area for the treatment of the wet waste. From wet waste, again, that biomethanation plant, we are getting the biogas out of it. So we can send it for the directly for the cooking purpose. We can supply to the gas engines. Through that, we can convert into the electricity. Even by purifying the biogas, we can convert into the CNG, directly CNG. That all these technologies are available based on the how much quantity of the waste generation taking place. Because if you want to go for the CNG, then biomethanation plant minimum capacity is required the 5 metric ton per day, and above that. Below 5 metric ton per day capacity of the biomethanation plant is not viable for the CNG plant. Then if capacity is less than the 5 metric ton per day, then we can convert that methane gas into the electricity by the gas engine, or directly we can use in the kitchen. In the IIT Bombay, we already I have constructed 2 metric ton 2 biogas plants, and that with the gas generation, whatever the methane gas generation taking place, that is connected to the cooking area of the mess of the whole hostels. So with the presently one plant of the 2 metric ton, we have done around the 40% reduction into the our gas cylinders in the one mess. So this is possible in the institutes. Easily we can convert directly. We can supply to the kitchen of our hostel messes, and we can reduce the requirement of the gas cylinders. If this is in the community, then conversion into the electricity through gas engine and supply to the street lights. This is the viable solution. And capacity is more than directly we can convert into the CNG, and directly we can supply to the vehicles also. This is the benefit of the biomethanation plant. If the land limitations are there, then this will work very well. If you are going for the composting, suppose council is there, population is less there, and rural land agriculture area is nearby, then composting is the good one, because compost requirement is much more for the agriculture purpose, and right now people is not getting enough quantity of the compost for their fields. So cost of the per metric ton of the compost is very good, and majority good revenue generation is taking place through the composting only. Another thing, the waste which is mixed waste that is going into the bioreactor landfill. Even bioreactor landfill also, sustainable bioreactor landfill also, we can extract the gas, and again same thing, we can convert into the electricity. And after the biomining of the bioreactor landfill, again we are getting the compost. Again we can use for the farms. Only in the bioreactor landfill, one thing is there, that non-decomposable fractions, that is already I told, that plastic wrappers, clothes, then many other things are there, small things are there, that is not decomposing fastly. That takes very long time. And if you see the bioreactor landfill, presently already we have tried into the consumer. Many cells they have constructed over there, and they are loading one cell, filling one cell, covering, then extracting the biogas from it, loading second one, third one. Likewise, they have done the sequence over there, and when they are filling last one, they are doing the biomining of the first one. So these sequence need not require additional land for the development of additional bioreactors there. So in that in many cases the retention is dependent on the availability of land also. If you going for the sustainable engineering bioreactor landfill, you can select the retention time 1 year to 3 years, depend on the availability of land, total quantity of the waste, and the size of the sustainable engineering bioreactor landfill. So non-decomposable fractions coming out, that is RDF. So friends, if you see the RDF is the biggest issue in the market nowadays, because that as per the MSW rule 16, our central ministry given the directions that you have to send this RDF to the cement industry, and because the temperature of the cement kiln is above the 1200 degree. So where that we can burn the RDF over there, but many limitations are there for that also. Suppose many councils are there, municipal councils are there, their quantity, then storage facility, then transportation from their treatment facility to cement industry. All these are the many issues are there. So it is not viable to send that to the cement industry. Even cement industry also limitations, because suppose huge quantity is coming to them, again they are not accepting that. So this is the biggest issue nowadays observing into our society, disposal of the RDF. But when I interacted with NITI Aayog members, and I asked them what is the solution for the disposal of RDF instead of the sending to the cement industry. So they say if you are following the MSW 2016 rules, then you can develop your incineration plant or boiler at the site and convert that into the electricity. So is this possible? Yeah, 101%. This is possible. What are the rule regulations for the MSW rule 2016 rule regulations? Only why we are sending to the cement industry, because that RDF should burn above the 1200 degrees centigrade temperature. The reason because noxious. Above the 1000 degree, all these noxious concentrations reduces. So easily we can, if you develop the boiler and which will work above the 12,000 degree temperature, then this is a very good alternative to convert these RDF as a fuel for the boiler, and through boiler we can convert that into the electricity by the steam turbines or produce gas. Many alternatives are over there next to it. So these are the different alternatives of the technique or integrated techniques where we can treat our waste effectively with the MSW rules and regulations. So next, after biological treatment, already I told the biogas plant, segregated waste biogas plant. These are the composting unit. Already this is constructed into the IIT Bombay. This is the small quantity. If you this is even we can do into the large scale also. Biomethanation plant, already I have mentioned that revenue generation and other things. Already I have given details how much quantity of the biogas generation is taking place, conversion into the electricity, revenue generations. So all these are this is a viable technology for the wet waste biomethanation plant. Then thermal treatment. Thermal treatment, already I told that fresh, bioman, hand-picked RDF, and plus biomass also. Another one thing is if you see that in the councils, municipal councils, that biomass generation is taking place because the many trees are there, their garden waste are there. So all these are the nothing but the biomass. So we can use this biomass along with the RDF. This is the thermal treatment where we can moisture reduction is required because to effective run boiler, that moisture controlling is very important. Once we reduce the moisture content, again then we have to freeze the boiler. Boiler already I told we can generate steam through steam turbine electricity. Then again ash which is coming out from the boiler, that will go into the Bioreactor landfill. This is the thermal treatment. Till date, not much more work taken place into the thermal activity in the India, but in other countries, a lot of development have taken place long back in the thermal treatment for the dry fractions or RDF. After thermal treatment, already I told that these different types of boilers are available there. Only that conversion is required. Already in the other countries, they have done the conversion and they are using these type of boilers. If you try to use into our India, application of this technology, municipal corporations that on the BOT basis is involvement of private agencies is required into this one. We have to start for the small townships. They can small townships can they can develop own plants also. Only this is actually when already I am working onto this one. That's why when I interacted with many people and that boiler development is activities and process. So if you roughly see that incineration of 10 TPD to 500 TPD, if you see that, if you consider the 500 TPD of the municipal solid waste. So that electricity generation will take place around, if 500 TPD is done, it goes up to the 2 megawatt per day, and plant cost goes up to the 30 crore. I am talking about the 500 TPD capacity. So, but actually, lot of work we have to do into this one. Already that activity is going on, and this is a very good solution where the land or space limitations are there, because dry fractions quantities in the dry fractions, that RDF quantity is coming up to the 80%. So 80% material we are getting free of cost. We are not paying anything, because if you go to industry, they are buying the pallet, they are buying the coal, they are buying the furnace oil, they are buying the woods to run their boilers. So all these cost of furnace oil, wood, coal, briquettes, pallets, they are paying for that. But here we are getting the material free of cost. That is the biggest benefit over here, and due to that, huge revenue generation will take place. Only we have to take care of the MSW rule 2016. Then this will possible. So this is possible in the other countries. Already I told that. Before that, I want to again share one more technology. This is biomass to energy. Already I told that biomass generation is taking place into the municipal councils, and this is also separate, because if you segregate, means generally trimming of the trees and plant cutting, then dry leaves, everything is storing separately. But till date, proper treatment and disposal facility is not available. This is everything is going on to the dumping ground. So if you treated this separately, then we can convert this biomass into the energy. This is a schematical representation of the plant where we can convert that biomass into the electricity. So we can feed the biomass from here. This is pyrolysis of the biomass. Ash is coming down. Produced gases, again, generation is taking place over here. Everybody knows the composition of the gases, CO, H, methane, CO2. These are the different, the percentages are different of the that produced gases. Through multiple cyclone, this cleaning is taking place of the produced gases. Produced gas clean, after cleaning, that is supplying to the biogas engine, and through biogas engine, electricity generation is taking place. Already we have run these trial plants in the IIT Bombay. That commercial plants also available in the market also. This is the small activity also we can do for the garden waste. Is converting into the pellets used for the gasifier. Stoves are there, chulas are there. Another one thing, when in the segregation, major component is coming the plastic. Plastic, this is many technology right now people is using to treat the plastic waste. But one thing is that produce the oil out of it. This is schematic representation. Already this trial taken into the IIT Bombay. This is plastic, shredded plastic, then catalyst. Through catalyst, by hitting separation of the oil from this, and that condensed gas is flaring up. The condensed gas is taking place here. Actually, this laboratory setup run by me in the IIT Bombay 4 or 5 years back, and this type of oil extractions done. This is using as the furnace oil in the boilers. Many NGOs are doing this and supplying into the remote area for the lamp purpose, chimney purpose. This is the commercial plants are available right now in the many places. They can convert plastic into the furnace oil, and they are selling the to the boilers for the incineration purpose. But still limitations are there for these, because variety of plastic is coming there. That contaminated plastic is coming in, that segregated. Another one thing, while running the plant, temperature is the another one issue where we can proper control is required. Suppose temperature control is not done properly, then wax in between wax formation is taking place, and once wax formation taken place, all this piping is choking. So again we have to stop this, again we have to clean that piping. So these small issues are there, but many people are trying for this one also. When I have taken the trial, at that time the technical details are there. So in the lab setups, I have taken the 70-gram plastic and 30-gram catalyst, and started hitting into the setup. Then above the 110 degrees centigrade, moisture is coming out from the plastic materials. When we go for the 150 degree to 350 degrees centigrade, that combined moisture and oil is coming out of this. And when we are sending that to the condenser, that moisture condensed into the water, that separates, and that clear oil is coming out. Purely oil and wax formation taking place in between 350 degrees centigrade to 600 degrees centigrade. Then the which is not condensed material, that fumes goes to for the flaring, because that contains that combustible gases also. So these are the data here. I have done the trial, but that works very well. We can convert that easily into the oil. But what if we have to check the temperature, that 350s and 350 degrees centigrade to 600 degrees centigrade, that oil and wax extractions take place into this one. Already I told that thermal power plants means that dry fractions to electricity generation plants are running into the USA and even in the European countries also. This is the very old plant. They're running from the, I think, They have got started 15 years back. All these New York waste is coming to this plant. 300-kilometer distance is there, but they are all the, because New York City don't have any treatment facility over there. So all these, because another one thing is the composition of the waste, Indian waste, municipal solid waste, and US waste is drastically different. US municipal solid waste contains maximum dry fractions, not a wet fractions. So that's why this is the very good valuable material for the thermal treatment. And all this New York, this dry fraction content is transporting to the Philadelphia to this plant. And from last 15 years, they are running this plant very effectively. So this is possible into our India also, because one of the plant in the Delhi, Jindal is running that plant. But that plants have a very lot of limitations due to the composition of the municipal solid waste. Already I told US composition and Indian composition. Specifically, Delhi composition is also typical compositions. That's why Jindal plants is facing a lot of problems. That's why a lot of allegations are coming against them. So only dry fractions goes to this power generation plants, incineration plants. This is a very good solution for the conversion into the electricity. This is benefited space-wise, land-wise, than total revenue generation-wise also. So they have taken this is the inside photographs of the power generation plants of the Philadelphia. They have taken the environmental precautionary measures, these cyclones and all these things that is mandatory to these plants, because we have to take care of the environment also when we are going for any advanced technology or new technology. So these are the different techniques, integrated techniques, which is available. We can implement into the municipal solid waste management in the different way as per the quality of the composition of the municipal solid waste, localities, availability of the land, cost. Many components are coming into this during the selection of the integrated technologies. So friends, after that I want to request all of you what we can do for our society. So friends, first of all, for the awareness of the segregation in the people, we have to form the environmental groups in our society, villages, colleges, and try to aware the people into the segregation of municipal solid waste effectively, because effectively segregation will reduce the lot of load of the treatment facility of the municipal solid waste. Then involvement of the public awareness programs. Already told that we have to run these programs, segregation programs, into the different places along with the different bodies. Insist the people. Then avoid the plastic use. This is the reductions. Active participation of the youngers into this segregation awareness programs. All this will help a lot into our effective treatment of the municipal solid waste. I'm running one JSVK Foundation. This aim of the JSVK Foundation is the effectively treatment of the municipal solid waste and provide the technical supports into the municipal solid waste. Many activities we are doing. This is the NCC people. We are involved. We have taken the advantage of them also. School children's. NCC again, this is activity taken place into the youngers. Then many other drives also we are taking in the rural area also. This is my presentations. Thank you very much for all of you who listen patiently my presentations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your very detailed and elaborative presentation on municipal solid waste, various segregation methods available, and its further remediation techniques also.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So 2-3 questions. Any I would like to ask, sir. For example, sir, you have worked a lot on MSW since last, I think, many years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, so generally, whenever I also personally visit our Ahmedabad, that is Pirana landfill, which is now a very big heap of more than 30 or 35 meters.
Correct, sir.
Okay. I'm audible?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So today there are more than 6 heaps such, and they are almost covering a total land area of more than 84 hectares.
Okay,
So when last year also when we visited and we are working regarding the recycle MSW.
Okay, sir.
Presently they have installed some 24 what I mean to say plants which are segregating the waste with respect to sieving.
Okay, sir.
These are
We can say straw mills, straw mills.
yeah, these are rollers, one type of
Straw mills.
cylinders.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Don't.
Yeah,
Hello.
sir. Yes, sir. Hello. Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So when we are collecting this waste, actually the waste are of different periods also. There is 10-year-old waste, 15-year-old waste, 20-year-old waste, and so on.
Yes, sir.
And when we are collecting this waste, our aim is to convert this waste into some sustainable fill material.
Correct, sir. Correct.
So, and we have also worked on using this segregated municipal solid waste as a fill material for reinforced earth wall.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Now, our observation was regarding that when I'm particularly when I'm seeing this Pirana waste, I found that actually all the waste is being dumped at one place and hardly there is any on-site segregation. What I mean to say means before dumping.
Correct. Correct.
Second thing that when these waste are dumping and due to the seasonal changes, what you say as the biological decomposition or any other decomposition which has been taking place with respect to time period and other factors, lot of inside changes have been taken place, and thereafter even particularly in rainy season we found there is a good amount of leachate collection also, which is very mostly dark brownish or dark blackish in color.
Correct, sir. Correct.
Now question arises why there is so much hesitation, because when we did our detailed chemical analysis on this municipal solid waste, we found that there were no major toxic contents in this waste. And but the question was arising that at present, as there is no specific code, IS code, nor any other government directions, we can say, to use this segregated waste, people are not ready to accept this waste.
For the filling purpose.
Yeah. So, is there any policy or you have witnessed any such type of problem, and any solution you might have thought of?
Actually, when we are talking about the filler material, actually this filler material contains the partial inert materials, not a completely inert material, because partially decomposed or complete decomposed material particles also coming into that total quantity along with the inert material. So when we are using for the filling purpose, we cannot give the guarantee of the stability of that structure or that land, because when that coming in contact with moisture or water, again that settlement possibilities over there. So that's why generally no one is ready to use this material for the filling where the heavy structure is coming over there. Suppose.
But sir, this was also the issue when initially some 20 years back when fly ash came into picture in the market.
Okay,
when there was an order by the High Court that the thermal power station should leave this fly ash for a filling purpose. At that time also this was the same issue, but later.
Actually, yeah, but hello, yeah, so till date, fly ash is not using for the filler material. Till date, not using, because against stability issues there. Then again, if carbon content is more into that, then it will take the fire also. That is also possibilities over there. So related to fly ash,
can be used in a sandwich form.
Sandwich form, again, sir, we have to check the stability, because in that cases, my supervisor Dean Singh sir worked a lot into that related to fly ash. So they have better idea than me, because particularly I have worked into the solid waste management, municipal solid waste. So they will give the better answer onto this one. But when I presently I have visited many councils, municipal councils, and same situation is there. Partially inert material, means partially decomposed material along with the inert material. Very big heaps are there onto their sides, but they are never getting they have to unload these materials. Reason behind that, small plastic is always available into these materials, small size non-decomposable plastics. Yes. And when that goes into the any land, or again that problems creates. So only one thing is that where suppose someone wants to develop the gardens, and quarries are there, above that quarries they want to develop the gardens, then this is the feasible solution to use this metal over there only, because in the garden structures are not coming, heavy structures are not coming there over there. So many places they have used this for the developing the garden purpose also. Another one thing, as per my observation, what you told right now related to piranha, along with the piranha, and other cities also, even Bombay, even in the Kolhapur, even many cities also, when they are doing the biomining, parallelly they and the land also. They are using same land for the different activities, means fresh waste also and biomining also. So they are not managing properly. Suppose if they biomine the particular area, and they are not getting the space for the fresh waste. Only one thing is there. If they started with the one side, suppose already they are dumping at the one corner fresh waste. If they started with the old side, and if they done the biomining, if they develop the bioreactor landfill very within shortest period, and try to dispose of that fresh waste into the bioreactor landfill, then retention time and volume, all this, if you design properly for the bioreactor landfill, then what will happen? The solution of the problem will reduce, because that fresh waste will go directly into the landfill. Then that will process into the landfill. Parallelly, you will get the free space by the biomining slowly. As you are getting the free space through biomining, you can develop the multiple bioreactor landfills. If you develop the sufficient bioreactor landfills, which is required for that quantity, in the remaining area, when we'll do the complete biomining of that waste, remaining area we can use for the multiple activities, remaining activities for the plastic treatment. But even in the when you are going for the bioreactor landfill, starting bioreactor landfill, very effective segregation technologies required at the entrance of the site, because that directly, as it is, garbage truck should not go onto the direct landfill. Another one best solution is that already when I have discussed with IIT RM, Dr. Kannan, Professor Kannan,
Yes, sir.
I have suggested them try to develop the different transfer stations in the Ahmedabad city, where we can segregate the dry fractions on the conveyor belt with manual activities, where we will get the reductions around 50 to 60%. So that much waste reduction volume will reduce to go to the your landfill side. And another one thing, the people will get the benefit over there. Transportation costs will reduce. But we have to start with this activity first. Then automatically that effect will come onto the total volume of the waste. This is the very good technology which is presently required in the metro cities. Transfer stations are required. In the USA, if you see that, they have developed the transfer stations everywhere. Only valuable material they are taking out from that transportation. Remaining non-valuable material or non-recyclable material, that is directly going for the incineration purpose and landfill area. That's why the reduction in the volume taking place only at the city only. That's why transportation costs and treatment costs automatically reductions taking place more than 50%. So these type of applications are required into the these areas. Otherwise, if you going as per routing, that Kirana landfill area never will clear, because fresh waste will come continuously there, and mining also, that how much speed we required, because again rainy season limitations are there.
Yes, sir.
That many things are over there, but we have to try the reduction into the waste only at the source and the transfer stations only. That will help a lot.
That is correct. That is true, sir. Actually, what is that the detailed characterization of each and every landfill site is different, sir.
Yeah, correct, sir.
Right. So, because why we suggested this, that because when we had worked on Kirana landfill, we found that it was in terms of soil characterization, it was poorly graded sand type.
Correct, sir.
There was no plasticity characteristics, and therefore we thought that why this material, if it is converted to a such type of sustainable fill material using some sort of sandwich technique or other things, then lot of material can be consumed at a time.
Yes,
that
sir.
was
Yes,
our
sir.
purpose. That was our purpose.
Recently in the Kolhapur also, same issues there. Then they want to fill up one quarry, and they want to develop the garden over there. So, depend on the requirement of that area. Means what are the requirement of that area? Based on that, that concerned authority have to take the suggestion. That quarry is in the Kolhapur, quarry is within the city. So if you fill up that quarry and with that inert material and the partially decomposed material, and develop the garden, that will not help a lot, because already many gardens are there that councils don't have that much sufficient funds to maintain that gardens.
Yes.
That's why what are the present requirement? Present requirements are the parking in the many cities. So if they fill up the quarry, they have taken out the columns from the bottom of the quarry, and they are fill up with this material, and above the ground level, if they develop the parking, means that will solve the two ways, that they can dispose of the material into that quarry, and they can use that area for the parking purpose also, high-rise parking purpose. So that suggestion they have accepted now.
Oh, that's really good, sir. Very nice.
So depend on area to area, we have to think onto the solutions, and as per that we have to act. Even that local body have to act onto that.
Yes, that's correct, sir. Actually, sir, very frankly speaking, whenever we visit these municipal corporations, they are little bit very very rigid means in implementing any new thing?
The reason behind this, sir, because actually that is not their work. Because what happened, they are very much busy with provide the services to the public. Very much busy into that only. So they never
Yes.
never concentrating on to the treatment of the wastewater and solid waste management, solid waste. Because all that the member of that councils and municipal councils, they're always telling that multiple activities related to the public services. So always they are busy into that only. So they are never getting the time to think onto these technologies and these treatment facilities also. This is one of the biggest reason because why we are not getting the better results into this.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. So, any questions from participants? I hope participants, any questions? I think there are no questions. So, thank you, Patil sir, very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk with you all people. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for accepting our invitation and sharing your valuable experience to us. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, dear participants, after it was the end of the last session. Now, after half an hour, the quiz will be floated in the group. So all the participants are requested to attend the quiz. The quiz will remain open up to midnight, and at last the marks of all these quiz will also be considered, including attendance. So I request all the participants to attend the quiz daily. Tomorrow, that is the second day of our STTP, that will start sharp at 10 a.m. Tomorrow we have one very well-known and what I mean to say technocrat, that is Minimal Korula. Says the Vice President of McAfee India Limited, and she is going to share his presentation on landslide mitigations, and that is the unique case studies. So I request all the participants to be sharply remain present, join the session sharply at 10 a.m. So thank you very much. If participants have any question or any query, you can please ask.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Some of the participants were raising query in the morning that their names are not there in the TNA list. Our Honorable HOD sir, Professor Dr. C.S. Sanghi sir is already working on that, and he has presented at DT level also. So I hope some positive solution will definitely come out of that. Okay. So thank you all. Okay, so we are ending this session.
Yes.
Thank you.